richness here. You know, it has. So yes, it has lost a lot of water.
How much of its weight does it lose in the cooling process?
I don't know. Over one night, I have no idea. I think it's infinitesimal. One of the main reasons it's solidified is because of the quality of the fat. So there's unsaturated fat and there's saturated fat. Because of the genetics and the diet of this pig, it puts on lots of saturated fat, which has less water generally, or harbors less water than unsaturated fat. So unsaturated fat, if this were like a Yorkshire that was fed on mostly corn and soy, he would be as floppy now as he was yesterday when we were scalding and scraping, you know, and completely moist flesh.
Can you explain the corn and soy one more time?
Yes.
As far as why you don't want to use that?
Yes, so corn and soy has lots of polyunsaturated, unsaturated fats. So when the pig eats that, that's what it composes its body mass of, is that kind of unsaturated, polyunsaturated fat. And that does not just affect the quality of the pig's fat, but also the pig's lean muscle. Because lean muscle tissue is composed of cells, and the cell walls, the permeable membranes around cell walls are made of fat. So if that fat is the same as the unsaturated corn and soy fat, you get that floppiness. And the fat and the meat will tend to be a similar color. Just after sitting out for an hour, it would be all gray. The fat and the meat, which is hard to imagine standing in front of this pig. You can see the high contrast, and it's really striking. And that is a sign of health. How it translates practically into curing is with water activity. So with curing, we're drying meat out. That's it. We're just pulling water out. Saturated fat, to begin with, has very little water in it. And the cells retain less water. So when you have a lot less salting to do, and a lot less chance that it'll be spoiled. I mean, 99% of the curing is done for you. So you just salt it minimally, and it's there. If you were to salt a pig with lots of the unsaturated fat, it would yellow, it would become rancid. So the fat oxidizes quicker,
So
which
yellow
means
fat's
it tastes
unsaturated.
bitter.
Sorry. Yellow fat is unsaturated, so when you see something in a butcher's shop that's turning yellow, that's...
If it's turning yellow, yeah. So later on in the process, like a grass-fed cow that's grass-fed and finished, their fat will be more yellow, but that's not because it's unsaturated. It's from all of the rich grass fat that it's put on. But when it's been hanging for a while, the process of oxidation of the fat causes it to yellow if it's unsaturated, which means it will taste bitter and it will coat your tongue in an unpleasant film of grease.
So you want to look for, if it's older fat and it's white,
That's
good to go.
stuff. Yeah, that tends to be more saturated.
Interesting.
And this fat will never, unless you hang it in like direct sunlight, it won't really get yellow at all. It'll stay white as long as it hangs in your kitchen for months and months. Yeah, so I don't know, it's kind of a complex thing, but the saturated fat on the practical level means that your bacon will taste better. Your cured meats will taste better. And I think even the fresh stuff tastes way better. Because saturated fat is sweet and nutty. Unsaturated fat is bitter and it's chewy. It's hard to chew. We're going to get pork chops off of this pig that have as much fat as meat. Or we could if we kept all the back fat on. And that fat is going to be delicious. It's totally desirable. Like you would eat a solid bite of fat. Because it's chewable and it's sweet, it's good. That's why pigs have been bred to have less fat, because the fat that they have had is toxic and not tasty. That's why we're trying to get it all out. That's why no one likes fat, because it is gross. This is not gross. This is tasty. Very edible fat.
And we're going to cook some of it today, are we not?
I think so. Yeah, we're gonna have lots of things cooking. So.
TJ said it's up to you.
Okay.
It's up to TJ, so I'm going with his answer.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta.
This is the back fat.
That's right.
Here,
Yeah.
this is what you lose if you skin. Okay, 'cause that's
See,
There are several kinds of fat on a pig. This here is the leaf fat. This is the purest fat on the pig. It's right around the kidney. This is what you put through the grinder and then melt in a pot to create leaf lard. This is God's short meat. This is the original short meat. Everything else is bastard short meat. And it's really bad for you, and it doesn't work as well. This is the key to good pie crust, because this is not a savory fat once you render it. It doesn't taste like pork. They used to call it the sweet fat. So you can use it in baking. Flaky pastries, absolutely need.
I was just curious, I was thinking about that last night. So you can't sell any meat, but could you sell lard? Would the USDA let you sell lard?
No.
They won't let you sell any product.
No.
even rendered fat.
No, because it comes, the animal has to be killed under USDA inspection.
We're gonna figure this out. We're all gonna be buying pigs, figuring out how to like co-own it.
Well, see, Circle V Meats in Spanish, but if they kill a pig, they will
you
not
come on
give
this
you that
side.
fat. They keep all the leaf fat.
Uh-huh.
They keep, and they render themselves and sell it in 1 pound, 3 pound tubs or whatever to their customers. But you cannot even get leaf
You
lard
can.
From your own.
No, you can't.
Well, we just did a pig, and
They would give it to me. They told me to go jump in the lake.
Problem
You
is-
could buy it, they said.
The problem with it is they add a whole bunch of.
So you have to fight to get your own pig back. So you just keep pressing this down, and eventually you'll be able to lift off all of this white
That's
one
the
big
end goal we're
leaf.
trying to get all around.
So this just kind of
They wouldn't even, well, they wouldn't even sell it.
back.
Really?
Yeah.